Hey, what's up, fellas? Here's again in our studio with another short video tutorial in Photoshop 2015. Let me tell you something, I'm only using the latest version. Of course, as you know, came out a few days ago. So I really recommend you to use this. If you don't have your subscriber, monthly subscriber, just download a 30 days trial. And you will see the huge news in this application: After Effects, Premiere, Illustrator, and Photoshop. I really thank you, Adobe team, that have been making a great job. So today we're gonna show you how to create the shapes. Actually, you know what? This tutorial gonna be concentrated and creating shapes that you can create nice designs. Like, let me show you here. I got a couple designs that I made with those shapes that I create. You see, as I said, you can create your own. The idea came out, I was working with my friend. He's working on a nice project. He was using a PNG and JPG image, but when he scaled in After Effects, you know, this becomes like real pixelated, looking horrible. And he was asking me another way to, you know, solve that problem. So that's what I told, and I suggest him to create and build our custom shapes, you know, for Photoshop, After Effects, and Premiere. So it will be nice, and just keep in tune. We're gonna be making every week a tutorial. Will be Saturday or Sunday, 4 tutorials a month. Of course, I'm not really sure if we will be 4, but at least will be 2 or 3 tutorials in a month, because you never know what's gonna happen. So I'm not gonna say, you know, I will be definitely put 4 tutorials in a month. Anyway, well, the idea came out, as you know, my brushes and my partners on my website, of course, you can download for free. The idea came out from the drawings that I made a long time ago, like 15 years ago. Let me see. Actually, I used to draw the date, so you see it's 10, 11, 1000. It was drawing at 2000, and I, at that time, you know, I didn't know about computers. I just like to draw since I was a child, and that's what everything I do, I like to save in my secret box, you know, where I keep my ex-girlfriend letters. Of course, right now I don't have a girlfriend. I'm looking for, if someone is interested, let me know. Okay. Well, this is a joke. It's just, I mean, it's not a joke, but well, let's put this behind and start with the tutorial. And so, like I say, I definitely recommend you to draw first, and, you know, take a picture with your phone or with your camera, or just scan and then start drawing the shapes or brushes in Photoshop. That's really easy and nice. Well, the way I create, as I say, you know, the brushes that I already upload on my site, and also the patterns, but today we're gonna just show a couple tricks that we can create your custom shapes in Photoshop. As I say, I'm using the 2015, but you can use any version of Photoshop. The only thing you cannot do in the old version, like CS3, CS4, and I think CS5 also, you cannot margin the latest shape. That's the only problem that you cannot use in the older version. But the latest, like since CS6 to this version, that's the good feature, you know, that you can select more than 10 layers or whatever layers you have, and just margin and only one layer using the margin shapes. Okay, so the way to create you know, shapes is easy. You know, let's say I'm gonna create a rectangle or a square. So let me just draw a rectangle, and, you know, just right click and define a custom shape. You can give it a name and just hit OK. Let me just cancel. Or also you can go edit and just define a custom shape, and, you know, just give it a name, and you will have your. But who wants to say you know, create a rectangle or circle or star? That's you know, it's easy and not too hard to create. And, you know, this let me just put this into a garbage. What about creating this leaf? Of course, it's not hard to, but, you know, what about with those holes and everything? You know, like real leaf that I created days ago. Let me just show you the shapes that I create. You know, it's also available to download. The link will be down below in the description. Just feel free to download all those shapes. But the point of this is not really concentrated in Photoshop. Those shapes are created to work in Premiere and After Effects. You will see how those shapes becomes very handy and helpful using After Effects. So let me just close this. And what about you know, creating this leaf shape? So the way to create it, just make sure the shape and the path. Also the pen tool, that's the tool, or the pencil tool, you know, for creative paths. So let me just go back to and start creating. First we need to make a straight line, and actually, you know what, just kind of like a straight line, and click in the middle and just holding down Command Control and PC and just drag to the left, and we're gonna just close this gap, and we're gonna add another click and just holding down Control to the right, and then we might need to add another click in here and the point, and then just drag a little bit to the left, and there we have our shape, lift shape. So what about creating those holes? Well, the way to create this, make sure they're selected, and just gonna create another line, and so, you know, the same thing we made, and just holding down Control and just close the gap and add another line, of course. There you go. And then we need to create those the side. Well, just deselect, and we're gonna just start creating. So let me just see the way to create, and same thing, just hold it down Control and Command and Mac. Of course I'm using Mac, and there we have. So what about if we gonna like 1, 2, 3, and 4, or whatever you want? So let me just select this and duplicate, holding down Command J, 1, 2, and 3. So once we duplicate 3 times, we gonna make sure hit the 8 key and just drag this to the side. I mean, to the different places. Maybe this down here. So let me see where we have this and where we have this. Okay, so maybe this down here, this one down here. Okay, so once we have this, we need to merge the layers. So that's the cool thing that we can do in the latest version. So make sure the top is selected, hold it down Shift and select all of them, and the shortcut is Command E, or you can go layer and margin shapes. You see, and there we have. Actually, and just you know, make sure, you know, move this little line to the right places. And what else we can do once we have this? Actually, we can just copy and paste at this side, but today, you know, I don't want to make this long video, so I'm just showing you the tip or the trick how to make little advanced shapes, you know. So let me just make sure they're selected, the layer selected, you know, and also the path tool, the path selection tool is selected, you know, and just click this, select, hold it down Shift, select all the paths, and also the outline path. Once we have this, we need to go to this icon and just click, and you will have a couple options. I want to just exclude overlapping shapes, and there we have. So you see, it's nice with so something's wrong here. We didn't select this, so make sure to select all the paths you have. Then just yeah, well, you already know how to make this nice, you know, just margin shapes. So then once we have this, we need to select all and right click and define as a shape, and you can just give a name and just hit OK, and you will see. Also, you can just go edit and define as a shape, you know. So once we have this, if we go back to my shape panels, and you will have the left in here, or whatever shape you draw. As you see, I draw all those shapes and to use in After Effects and Premiere. So keep in tune. The next Saturday we'll be working on After Effects and show you how to use those shapes, and how those shapes are really helpful and fast to use. All right. So also I gonna show you this. You see this? It's looking nice shape. The way I made it is, if you check my tutorial, actually I put this a long time ago, how to create a Valentine postcard in Photoshop. So you will see how I create that shape. So you can just go ahead and watch the video, and you will have this nice shape. So when you create the shape, you will have that again. I mean that shape, and you can start using in your. You see, let me just put and see, and they have the nice shape. So it's different than using a regular image like PNG or JPG. Also, if you trying to make a shape from a PNG, make sure and keep in mind that when you convert into shape, it will become a solid color. All right, so if we go back to my hit the U key and go to my panel. So once we have this, what about if you're gonna just share with your friends or put it in your website to download? So that's easiest. You just go to this gear icon and go preset manager, and you will have it. So select the first, holding down shift, and select the last one, and you will see all the shapes selected, and just save as a set. So the window pop up where you can save. I really recommend to save in different folders, because you know, when you delete your Photoshop, in case you change the computer and you're getting another copy of Photoshop or whatever, so you won't have that shapes, because as soon as you delete Photoshop, will delete all the shapes. So that's why I suggest to save in a different folder and put your name, and that's it. So once you save it, so then just cancel, of course. And when you reinstall Photoshop, gonna install for your friends, so you can just go to your folder, and whatever, let's say this is the file, and just right click and copy, and then you can go to applications, depending on the version of Photoshop you have, and you just open and go to presets and custom shapes, and then just right click and paste it. I already have it in here, so, and that's ready to use. And going back to Photoshop, you can go the shapes panel and go the gear icon, and just load the shapes, and it will pop up the window where your shapes are saved, and just select your file and just open. And of course mine gonna be duplicated because I already had. Anyway, so that's the way to create nice shapes. I know it's a lot of shapes that I cannot just create today, but you already know how I create the lift. That's the only, the point to start creating shapes and hard shape. Not the basic shapes, but hard shape. Like I create most of them. Those kind of. This is like real simple that I create just using the rectangle, and create more than you see, kind of like more than 4 bars, and then just merge all together, and then just right clicking and define a shape. And you see a couple of them. This I draw from I used to draw first in the notepad, and then scan, and then start drawing in Photoshop, like I made the brushes. So anyway, there's a cool shapes that you can start using. Like I said, make sure to keep in tune. We're gonna be using those shapes in After Effects, and you will see the amazing projects that you can create. Okay, hopefully you guys like it. And for the Spanish people, I had another channel that I will upload in Spanish, so make sure to keep in tune, and also check that website. Also, if you guys are English speakers, please, if you don't mind, subscribe in both channels. Thank you so much, and see you next Saturday, as I said, for the next After Effects tutorials, and also for the Premiere tutorial. Thanks so much, and have a great time.